My name is Emotions Michelle Whitfield. I'm a CNA. I've always adored elderly, just from seeing them downtown or sitting at a coffee shop, drinking their coffee with husband and wife. We have a lot of residents here who are just filled with stories. I just like to sit around and talk to them every single day, and they're just all sweet.
Dear Grandma E, I just wanted to say hello and tell you that I love you very much and I always think of you. I love you so much and I will see you very soon. Love, Samantha.
Like, a lot of them are just really, really appreciative about the personal care that I do give them. I think that's one of the reasons why I completely do adore this job. Basically being able to help someone be happy.
To succeed as a CNA, there really are two sets of skills. One is technical. You need to know how to provide care in the right way.
You need to know how to do a bed bath properly, take vitals, take blood pressures. So those are measurable skills that you learn in school.
Right, but just as important are the behavioral or personal and professional skills that are required for the position.
The most important person is the resident that you're taking care of. So you need to have those personable skills.
It is what you're doing in the role, but also how you're doing it.
They definitely taught us a lot of skills through Generations Pittsburgh. I mean, this is the best opportunity I feel like I've ever had in my whole entire life. Before Generations Pittsburgh, I was here. I was completely lost and stuck in life. And being that this is something that I've never done before, and then being introduced to it, I'm just like, I would have never been able to find this side of me if it wasn't for Generations Pittsburgh.
We help residents get showers, bed bath, washed and dressed. Some of them, they may need help with eating, set up with meals, brought to and from therapy, brought to and from meals, even, help with activities, bingo, playing cards. They can go out with families. We can help them in and out of the vehicles, make them look presentable, make sure that their experience here is enjoyable and happy.
It is a hard job. It's a very difficult position. It requires a lot of physical work, a lot of emotional commitment.
We're healthcare. We do not close. We do not have holidays. So as an aide, you're required to work holidays. You're required to work when other people are sleeping. You may be required to work 7 days in a row. You may be required to work shifts that you don't like. Right. It's not 9 to 5.
Right.
In order to get your job done as a nurse aide, you not only need the other nurses' aides, you need the nurses, you need rehab. So an essential part of being a nurse aide is teamwork.
Yeah, it's not a buzzword.
Teamwork is a big thing here.
Yes.
You need to, with your hall partner, you need to communicate, even say, hey, Kayla, I'm going in to get Mary up, because then she'll listen to if you need, and you're yelling for her down the hall, hey, I need a hand, and then she'll know where you're at.
Right. Communication is extremely important to be a CNA, especially throughout the shifts. It's nice whenever you come in, you get a report, they tell you how the person was through the night. Did they sleep? Did they, that way when you come in the morning, you can know what to expect.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. And just being there for each other is important throughout the day to make your day go a lot smoother. The CNAs, the nurses, therapy, dietary, we all have to keep really good communication. Otherwise, things slip through the crack.
I could say the most challenging part about my job as a CNA would be because of the fact that I do work with Alzheimer's and dementia residents. They get very, very combative and resistant, which can put a delay in care and completely throw me off on the other 7 residents that I have to take care of. A lot of combative residents can become very physical. So, you can't take it personal because it is your job.
Some days are horrible. It's just some days, you can get hit or kicked or whatever, and sometimes they just love you and want to hug you and kiss you. You just have to be prepared for anything.
A good CNA should be very patient, very kind and generous, and have a nice personality. That helps a lot because it gives you a good start for the day.
Very important that they have their dignity, and you try to take care of them how they lived. In the past, I've done hair, as a profession and stuff. So a lot of times the ladies want me to do their hair, and it's nice, that they still have pride, even in their older years. They still have pride and they still want to look nice.
It's like some residents want their 2 coffees every single day with their 3 sugars and their 3 creams in each of them. And if you don't remember that, you can completely throw someone's day off. I mean, this is where they're going to be for the rest of their life. Some of the residents get very, very sad and feel like they don't have anyone to talk to. If you just simply take time out of your day to talk to a resident for 5 minutes, you don't even know the change that you can put on that person's life just because you sat down and had a simple conversation with them.
To be a CNA, you have to be a special person, definitely. I've been here for almost 9 years, and just the amount of people that's been here and left just because I guess they don't understand the concept of it. You have to be involved with the residents and you have to understand their point of view. You can't just come here because you want money and you need a job.
You really have to like what you're doing, because if not, you're going to be miserable all day.
Yeah.
So although a nurse aide job is very challenging, the rewards are unmeasurable. Wouldn't you say?
I would. The best aides feel like the residents are their family. They treat them the same way they would want their grandparent to be treated.
Just a couple of months ago, I received a card in the mail about 4 months after one of my residents had passed away. And it was her daughter writing me a thank you note saying that on the day that her mother passed away, when she walked in the room, I was sitting in the room with her holding her hand because I didn't want her to pass away alone. And she was just so thankful for that. Definitely, it really, went straight to heart.
Did you decorate this yourself?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
All the doggies. Oh, there's number. Oh. Here's what I have. This is my granddaughter. That's my son.
Here.
Yeah, thank you, Jen.
I love Esther. She's just she's adorable. She's like, yeah, call me Granny Esty. I'm like, okay. She's like, all right. She's just so cute. The first time that I met Esther, we were at lunch, and she's telling me, she's like, oh yeah, I had a bad dream. And I'm talking to her, and she's like, I just regret not being able to ever write in my diary. You're still young, get yourself a diary. And I'm like, well, Esther, you could write in your diary. She's like, I'm old. I'm like, I'm sure you have a lot of time in your room. Why don't you get a diary and write your life down? Make it a book, and then plan them away or something like that. And she's like, well, I don't have a diary. I'm like, well, you can use a notepad. She's like, yeah, I do have a notepad. I can use a notepad. From that, every time I walk past her room, I notice Esther's always at her desk. So she's writing her life away. And I'm just like, I did that. I impacted her.
This job is just very rewarding. I mean, it just feels so nice to not just go behind a desk and type all day and, send stuff in the mail. You actually are involved with a person and you help them do things they can't do anymore. You feel like you're wanted and needed, it just feels so nice, just like a mother. And we're always thinking about them and you just get close to them. They're just like family.
I had a resident come in that suffered from a stroke and couldn't do much of anything for himself, and he ended up walking out of here, and he's home with his family. And he went from not being able to walk and not being able to cut up his food, the simple things that we take advantage of, and he ended up being able to walk out of here with his family, so that was very rewarding.
Every day I leave here and I truly know, I know I make a difference in these people's lives, and I know I really make a difference in their families' lives.
I do feel like it's a calling in my life. I'm going to go for my RN. And from that, I'm definitely going to go back to school and get my bachelor's. And just keep on progressing. If I become a traveling nurse, or if I become a charge nurse or a head nurse or something at the top where I'm, in charge. But I definitely want to stay in the nursing field.
Starting off as a CNA, I think, is a good experience if people want to get into nursing. I learn a lot as a CNA from the nurses. There's a lot of things that I know that maybe, somebody starting off just as a nurse may not have known going into nursing.
In our facility, our current assistant director of nursing started out as a nurse aide.
I think the most important thing is to recognize that in any and every aspect of nursing, just find your passion. whether it be with children, whether it be with, geriatric populations, whether it be with surgical people. You can find a passion and just take it in any direction. And if you enjoy what you're doing, and if you enjoy the area and the field that you're working in, you'll just enjoy your job. So just keep an open mind and look at all the possibilities in medicine, because they're so plentiful.
This program is definitely something that's totally worth it. And if you get through something like this, you can do anything, and don't let anybody tell you that you're just an aide, because you are not just an aide. You are completely one-on-one. You're the first person that the resident, you're like mainly the only person that the resident really interacts with on a day-to-day basis. Like, if there were no such thing as CNAs, then there can't be nurses. And without nurses, there can't be doctors. So being a CNA is everything.